live music is probably the most powerful medium of listening to music.
Choosing the dance life is not easy, and I know that firsthand.
Hi, I'm Trinity Lewis, punk rocker. Join me mining for gold with singer-songwriter Cindy Latin and breakdance artist Franklin Jin Chen.
One, two, three, four.
I have so many questions about the band, about the way that you are in charge of everything. What does it feel like?
It's really exciting. Usually when I write a song, it's just me on voice and guitar, voice and piano. It's crazy how it starts there and so many people like end up being part of it and how much bigger and more exciting the sound is.
You're your own manager.
Yes.
You're your own agent. You're your own marketer. I was laughing, saying, I think Cindy could pick up any one of the instruments and do the entire performance by herself.
I wouldn't go that far.
The best thing about Cindy, she has lots and lots of ideas all the time. The worst thing about Cindy is probably the same thing.
I like to be the person to put these things together because before I knew how to produce my own music, I worked with other producers who were excellent. It's just that they had control over things that only because I didn't know how. You kind of lose a little bit of say in your own work when that happens. I should be able to communicate in every way possible what I want. I don't want other people making decisions by default or just because, well, she doesn't know, so let's just assume this. I want to be able to say, no, I do know, this is deliberate. I don't want it to sound that busy. I really want that like empty feel.
It's clear that the control of it is something important to you.
Yeah, and that was the word I was avoiding, but control.
Controlling.
It's controlling.
Control freak. I am. Admittedly, I am a bit of a control freak. I do want things done like a certain way, and I always believe that like I would rather, as I did today, blame myself for mistakes than other people. You can do that every time you have that, okay? That's a good idea. I'm going to change that in all my charts, so I appreciate it. That is important to me, and in all ways in life, I always feel like I would rather be angry at myself than be angry at someone who I asked to do something for me.
Some words to describe Cindy. Caring, organized, thoughtful, pushy, direct, unrelenting, consistent, and timely, very timely.
One, two, three, four.
What is something that you haven't touched with music yet? Is there a topic that you avoid?
It's kind of crazy because I felt like when I was a little bit younger, too much of my material felt romantic. Now I'm on the other end of the spectrum where I can't really write any material like that.
Dancing with my crush at 13, that we're at some bar in Manhattan, dancing the Black Eyed Peas.
That's also a reflection of my personal life, but like I kind of wish I now could. I wish I could do both. The hardest part for me is writing positive romantic material. These are things all people go through, and our language works in such a way that we have cliches, and that's how we understand each other. But I guess the challenge for any songwriter is to avoid cliches and still express what a cliche can in another way. Nice.
During COVID, you made a Zoom orchestra of people to bring what we just experienced here to people stuck in their homes.
you know, I saw that this was starting to be a thing. People were doing these virtual things. So I'm like, if they can do it, then why can't I?
In a year from now, where will I be?
In a year from now, so far, over 500,000 listens on Spotify. What does that feel like?
I mean, well, I'll go back a little bit. I was still in school, and a teacher asked us, like, all our goals, and I said, I'd love to be on a Spotify playlist. And she was like, well, that might be difficult for you because your music is kind of niche. And I was like, thank you. And I got an email that said your song has been added to a Spotify editorial playlist called All Funked Up. And I was like, does this mean what I think it means? And it did. The last time I checked, I'm still on that playlist. Like, they never took me off, and I am grateful to have been there.
What does a year from now look like?
I could make like my streaming and my performances become like the main source of like my income. That would be amazing at the basic level, but on top of that, like, yeah, playing tours, playing for packed rooms of people that I don't have to beg to come. Not that I beg people to come, but I'm just saying, you know, you want it where people are like really excited to come to your shows.
But I'll make it work once I into the burn, then I will let new air in.
And I understand, like, you can't force people to care. And I feel the same way too, and this might sound horrible, but like, if I'm on the subway and I'm listening to my music and some guy comes in like playing drums or an accordion, I don't feel like I need to like stop what I'm doing and listen, because no one owes that to anybody, unfortunately. Like, no one owes me like listening to my music or streaming or coming to my shows. I hope they do, but I can't be angry at people for not. I have to like understand. I should be grateful when they are, but understand that no one owes me anything.
Sky's the limit. I think Cindy has huge ambitions, huge dreams that she is definitely making strides to really achieve those dreams.
You're trying to find the people it clicks with.
Yeah.
I wish I was Stevie Wonder.
Do you think that you were born into the right generation?
The thing is, my overall favorite like musician of all time is Stevie Wonder. He knows how to make complex sound not complex. I don't know how he does it. There are artists and groups that are like kind of in a similar genre to me that are actually doing very well. And I'm like, if they're doing this and a lot of people are liking this right now, then this might actually be the right time for me.
I would love to hear a little bit more about your relationship with your dad and the way that he supported you.
He's like a huge cheerleader and really helped me with so many things. And I remember in the hospital when he was ill, he told me that a doctor came and like asked him about his kids, and he said, oh, my daughter's like a musician, and that's what she's doing professionally. And the doctor said, oh, that'll change. And he goes, no, it won't. So, you know, hearing that always, you know, it's special to me. Still always came to, you know, as many shows as he could. It wasn't like physically an easy thing for him to be there, but it was apparently all he could talk about for weeks. My mom is very supportive. She's great. But I will say she does one thing that makes me laugh. She'll be like your songs are good, but you should try like some Norah Jones like during your shows. Like, people like that. I'm like, I'm sure they do, but no. Like, this is about my music.
What would success in your head look like?
I clearly have a genre and I have a sound, but I like to aspire to be able to perform in and to write and create in all types of sounds and genres. Do I still have, and do I mainly have my dreams of being a superstar? Like 300 million%.
Something feels good. If something is good, wouldn't you want to repeat it?
You live in the biggest, boldest, most entertainment-packed city in the world.
This is only the trials.
Does the buzz of New York ever discourage you, or does it guide you?
The busyness of the city is a good thing because it feels somewhat limitless. It feels like if one thing doesn't go right or one opportunity doesn't come through, that there are several other ones. There's several other projects and people working in the industry, so it doesn't feel like that was my last chance. It feels like that was one. Let me go get the other one, because that one didn't happen.
Breakdancing, or breaking, began in New York City in the early 70s. The original moves of break were created by African and Latin American youth of the Bronx. Breaking is as big and bold as the place where it was birthed, and it will always belong to New York.
7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're down to the floor. Good. Bring it down. Push. Oh, nice. There it is. And push. You got it. Good. We are dedicated to this dance. Breaking is our term for the street culture of the dance we do. The media calls it breakdancing, the dance that b-boys and b-girls do. You could say this is the mecca of hip-hop. So to have that void is kind of weird, you know? And I was like, there is an avenue that, you know, I can go down. When I first started, I was a very angsty young teen. A lot of energy, a lot of rebelliousness, and I didn't have an outlet for it. And this was definitely something that, you know, I thought was super cool. So I started when I was 14, a freshman in high school. It was just a group of friends kind of practicing after school in our high school cafeteria. And that just kind of grew and grew from a passion.
I mean, we're crewmates, and I always looked up to Franklin when I was young and just starting out. He was like my role model. We got really close because, you know, as I started joining the crew, he would always take me to competitions and stuff, and we would bond, compete together, and like just, you know, that whole thing kind of just helped us develop like a brotherhood together.
We were all part of this community, but I think over the course of a couple of years, we got closer and closer. And I think I could call them like family or crewmates.
That initial rebellion that got you interested in breaking, what is it at 14 you were feeling rebellious against?
At that moment in time in life, I was, I guess, a model Asian. I played piano and violin. I, you know, aced all my grades. I was in sports. I did everything that my parents would tell me. And I hit a point where I was like, this is not what I want to do. This is kind of like I'm living someone else's life. A lot of the footage that I would watch would be from Asian countries, and just kind of seeing that, you know, them kill it, put themselves out there, it kind of gave me strength to kind of follow in their footsteps.
So what does it mean to be in it right now? What does that mean for you guys?
It's almost amazing that, like, I can travel across the world and I might not even share the same language.
I went to Germany. I don't speak German for my life, like absolutely none, but I went there and, you know, I was just practicing, but, you know, like the German b-boys, they come up to me, they talk to me in, you know, the best English they can, and then, you know, we go out for dinner, they invite me to come hang out and stuff. Like, It's like such a strange thing, like just through dance that we can like connect with all these people in such a meaningful way, but I think it's beautiful.
I used to be I still am awkward and introverted, but when I dance, I try to own up to like who I want to be like Josh and kind of express myself, and breaking is one of the only ways to do it, and for me.
All of these guys have at least 10 years underneath their belt. You know, they can literally say that they have PhDs with the amount of time and hours that they put into this. So those moments, like, he's saying that he needed me, but I needed him at the same time too, so that's why I made it stronger, yeah.
I moved here specifically just to be across from Wondrous.
Really?
I was like,
wow.
I'm gonna get as close to the studio as possible. And then there was an opening right across the street, and I was like, it's mine. I'm taking this. So yeah, it's nice.
I'm boosting up the real estate here, yeah.
So now that you're all here together, dance together, live together in the neighborhood, how long does this last? What's next?
I think that's like a heavy question. I don't think we all have like an end goal. More so like, it's kind of like a journey that we're like, hey, let's all take this kind of together. I kind of learn from them and they learn from me.
You know, crew is really about like, we've had our highs and lows, and we've gone through all these, like, we felt these emotions together, you know. For me, that's kind of like why I'm so committed to breaking, why I'm so committed to the crew and stuff.
For me, like a crew is supposed to be family.
Are you going to be spinning on your head at 60?
Yeah.
Where do you stop?
I think this is where my parents and them kicking me in the butt about whatever I do has to be good. You know, like that tiger mom, tiger dad kind of feeling. Like, if I can do bigger things, why not, right? If I can have more of an impact in a positive manner, like, I should, right? Like, because, you know, choosing the dance life is not easy, and I know that firsthand. I think it's good to kind of stay in tune with the history of the crew, and also honoring the legacy of the members before. We always try to get new generation members.
You mentioned that this is something that you're doing for yourself, when in reality, it's very much something you're doing for your community.
Wondrous, you know, it's the sense of amazement, and that's why I named the studio after that. It's just like that moment that you see breaking, you're just bewildered. You're just like, that's amazing. You don't even know how to describe it, but you're just like, that's hard, or that's amazing. And that's what I want my studio to encapsulate and be able to share, yeah.
I think it would probably be a bigger comparison between like visual artists versus like performing artists.
It's like my director is like...
Always learning, always striving, and creatively relentless. Cindy's success is now and awaiting its future. And Franklin? He lights up the room, and part of his greatness is the way he makes everyone around him shine too. I'm inspired by my fellow artists. The Hidden.
Chest is heaving, why? Whoa, my insides are screaming, I'm boiling, I'm steaming, why?